very rural driving. It has some pretties with the snow hanging in the trees. And the snow on the roadside is not quite as dirty as it was back in the city. This area happens to be in the rolling foothills of the Allegheny Mountains. A lot of different terrain. South of Waterford is the little town of Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania. Nice, charming little town. It once was the home of Alliance College. The highest point in Crawford County is near this area. Section through here, I don't know if you'll be able to pick up those pilings out there. We once had a magnificent hotel here. It was called the Riverside Inn, very old and historic, and unfortunately it burned to the ground a few years ago. And I am going to take a little detour here and come out at that light ahead, only so that I can show you where the historic hotel was located. It has since been replaced by a brewery. Right here where this big barn stands, that is a new brewery. But it once was the home of the Riverside Hotel, and I will insert some pictures of that along with some history. This old building ahead of us, I believe, was part of that hotel. Cambridge Springs itself was known for the springs, the mineral springs here. So now I'm going to turn left and get back onto 19. That was just a little distraction here. I have to be quite vigilant going through here because normally I would go out Route 6 to go home. But since I'm not heading home right now, I have to remember to go down this way. So you don't get to see downtown Cambridge Springs, but you're not going to miss much. I'll take you through there another time. Venango is just a tiny little borough with an awesome golf course, and the golf course has an awesome restaurant. So if you ever happen to get through this area, be sure to stop there for some good food. This is the little borough of Venango. Jazzy's trying to help me narrate. And here to the right is the golf course and the restaurant located in that brick building. Venango Valley Inn. This is such a pretty ride through here because it runs parallel to French Creek. Sometimes I say that word properly, C-R-E-E-K, Creek. Although in this section of the area, or this section of the country, it's often referred to as Creek. So if you hear me say crick, you know where I'm from. So we are now approaching the town of Sagertown, Pennsylvania. Fame RV Center is off to the left. Anyone who is into traveling in their RVs probably knows the name Fame. They also make truck caps. There are two roundabouts in Sagertown, one on each end of town. And a lot of people do complain about having two of them, but I am here to tell you that this has been a godsend, because right off to the left is a major manufacturing plant, and up on the hill from that is the high school and the elementary school. And when those two get out at the same time, it was impossible to get through town. And having these roundabouts has really eliminated a lot of the congestion. There are good things to be said about roundabouts. And this is downtown Sagertown. If you have ever heard of Eureka Springs water, it comes from here. Sagertown beverages still exist in a sort of a way. It's not a big town, but it is a nice town. Just on the other side of this next roundabout, there is a little pull-off that maybe, if it's not snowed in, I can get down and film a little bit of the water in the creek. It's just a little pull-off where you can put in your canoes or your kayaks. Sagertown is also the home of Lord Manufacturing, if you've ever heard of that. Some ice is forming on the creek. Let's see if it would be safe for me to go down in here. I'm not sure. No, I'm not going to go down in there. I will dig out what I had filmed before when I was in there and insert that here. This part was recorded on December 10th. This little pull-off here is a small launch area where you can put in your canoes or your kayaks. As I was pulling down in here, I think I disturbed some of our local geese, and they just was taking off as I pulled in. The water is a little bit higher than normal. Here's another bridge crossing over French Creek. US19 bypasses the downtown city of Meadville. I believe it was built for that reason. As you can see, this is where we used to get on and off the bypass, but for reasons that I'm not sure of, I think because it wasn't well maintained and was falling apart, they decided to bring the entrance exit up to this point. And I think, if I'm right, I'm not sure if I am or not. You can see the old part down there. I think they're turning it into a 2-lane bypass out this direction. What used to be a 4-lane bypass. As we get closer to the city limits, it does become a 4-lane highway again. And it runs along with Route 322 through town and up to the top of the hill. We're not going to do that part today. That will be on my next video. You can see downtown Meadville straight ahead. The tallest building was the Northwest Bank building. Was Northwest Bank. It no longer is. Several other businesses are in there. So we are bypassing downtown Meadville, but fear not, I will take you on a tour. To the left here is our downtown mall indoor shopping area that I was talking about earlier. To the left, just beyond this white building and a car repair shop, you will see a small brick building, maybe. Yes, with a parking lot. That is where I worked for 26 years. That was the Department of Welfare. I was an employee of the state, retired after 26 years of service. I have a decent pension and some good insurance coverage, so therefore that helps me continue my travels and enjoy. This town was originally known for its Talon manufacturing. If anybody remembers the Talon zippers, that is where they were born, right here. Also, what is still here is Channel Lock. I'm sure everyone's heard of Channel Lock Tools, and that happens to be just up ahead at the bottom of the bridge that we're going to be crossing. In the meantime, I want to point out the engine that sits up here. Once we were known for Erie-Lackawanna Railroad, and I worked there for a short time, and the repair shop was down to the right. Our flag is still flying at half-mast in honor of former President Jimmy Carter's passing. This bridge was built shortly before or shortly after my family moved here in the 1962 era. It too crosses over French Creek. But I am going to be ending this part of my trip up here. I am only going out this far because I have to make a stop at Giant Eagle and pick up some groceries for the next few days. We have a shopping plaza to the right, a bowling alley to the left. Okay, to continue with the final leg of this part of my trip, I'm just going to take you on a quick little tour of downtown Meadville. Here we are going across the Smock Bridge again, the one I just crossed a few minutes ago. To the right, you can see the Channel Lock building where the Channel Lock pliers and other tools are made. But we are going to be driving Park Avenue as one of the main thoroughfares through downtown Meadville. Up ahead, you will see the Arby's roast beef sandwich sign. I point that out specifically because that is one of the original signs left in this country. The building was torn down just a couple of years ago and rebuilt, and they were thinking about scrapping that sign, but the residents of Meadville got together and petitioned to make sure that we try to save the sign. So they found someone who could do the repairs on it, and we are happy to say that we are the owners here of one of the original Arby's roast beef sandwich signs. I've tried to put that on one of the apps that I follow for roadside interest that you might want to stop and see, but they haven't accepted it yet, probably because I didn't have much information. So I plan to redo that again and hope that they will accept it. Meadville used to have a lot of nice shopping in downtown. Once upon a time we had a Montgomery Ward's and a J.C. Penney, a Murphy's, a Woolworth's, Grant's. And now those don't exist. And what we do have in downtown Meadville is none of the big box chain stores. We have a few mom and pop type stores, which I'm not complaining about, but we really need to have something that is going to offer something for everyone in the way of the department store. And really the only department store we have left is Walmart, and that's 6 miles out of town. So there you have it. If I were to go straight ahead, we would be going through the Allegheny College area, but I'm not going to be doing that. I am turning onto North Street, and I am going to be heading home. So this concludes this section of my US19 road trip. Stay tuned, there's a lot more ahead.